परब्बराय नमः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्तु निराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनिरते उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। I welcome you all to the next session on the introduction to Vishistadvaita. In the previous session, we had gone through a little bit about the nature of Brahman. We will be continuing with that. And while establishing the nature of the Brahman as per the Shruti Pramanas, in this Siddhanta, one of the major things that has been accepted is Saguna Brahma. So Brahman, as told in the Upanishads, is qualified by innumerable auspicious qualities, Sakala Kalyana Gunakaratva, and he is without any blemish, Akilaheya Pratyanikatva. His nature is opposed to everything that is defiling. So this is established based on two general rules, Nyayas, what we call, as has been established by Jaimini in the Purvamimamsa and many other Shastras also. It is used, Vyakarana and all that. Samanya Vishesha Nyaya is one thing, which is the general terms culminate in the particular term. So this is a very standard rule where general terms converge in a particular term. This is very important to know that there are many words in the Vedas which give certain meaning when we look from the language point of view, Sanskrit language point of view. But we have to consider the meanings according to the context and also looking at what is told overall in other Upanishads, everything, etc., overall the entire Shruti, and without anything that is opposed to what is told in other parts of the Upanishads. Because Vedas are being Apaurushaya and Nitya, they are defectless. And so there can be no contradiction in the Veda among the various sentences of the Vedas. So we have to understand the meanings in such a way that there is no contradiction. Because Upanishads themselves are there to do ultimate good for the entire mankind. So they cannot teach something and then again negate the same thing within another part of the Upanishad, in another part of the Upanishad. So this is not what is found in the Upanishad. So everything is equally valid. So if you look at that, there are words like Nirgunaha, Nishkriyaha, Nishkalaha, and things like that, which generally mean Nirguna means without any quality. But at the same time, Upanishads also say Manomayaha, Bharupaha, Sarvagandhaha, Sarvarasaha, Sarvamidam Abhyataha, and all those things, Sarvagnaha, Sarvavit. So many qualities are told for Brahman. At the same time, there is a term called Nirguna, Nishkriya, like that. So there seems to be apparent contradiction in these sentences. So how to understand this is we have to understand it applying certain general rules. Samanya Vishesha Nyaya, Utsarga Apavada Nyaya. So while defining the nature of Brahman in the Chandogya Upanishad, the last chapter called Dahara Vidya Prakarana, there the Upanishad says Atma, Paramatma's qualities as Apahatapatma, Vijaraha, Vimrutyuhu, Vishokaha, Vijighatsaha, Apipasaha, Satyakamaha, Satyasankalpaha. There are 6 qualities. He says there are Brahman is Apahatapatma, without any blemish. all the defects are told and told about 6 defects and say Brahman is without all these 6 defects. Only 6 are told. The Upanishads, when we study the Veda completely, we understand that Vedas do not tell everything in every place. In some parts, some things are told, some parts, something else is told, some parts are told in a very secretive manner, indirectly. It is up to us to understand without any contradiction the meanings of the Vedas if we are really interested in understanding the nature of the realities, the means to escape this samsara, and the nature of the ultimate goal that we need to attain. If one is interested, we have to study very sincerely without any contradiction, understand these sentences. So our acharyas have done that, great service to us. So here only 6 qualities are told. It is indicative of everything that is negative, everything that is defiling. So the Upanishad says, without any blemish, old age, death, sorrow, or hunger, or thirst. And it also, the same sentence, 2 qualities are told, Satyakamaha, Satyasankalpaha. Brahman has true desire and true will. Whatever he desires, he can get. Whatever he wills, nobody can turn it down. Nobody can obstruct that. So here it is the nature, the meaning of the word nirguna is taken as without any defiling qualities. Nirguna doesn't mean no quality at all. So it has to be taken as without any defiling qualities. That is called utsarga apavada nyaya. And guna is not there means qualities are there, good qualities are there. That is utsarga apavada nyaya. Utsarga is a general rule that there is no quality. And the apavada for that, the exemption is that there are auspicious qualities. So this is called utsarga apavada nyaya. So something is negated and something opposed to that is said to be true. Like that. So this is how we have to understand that Satyakamaha, Satyasankalpaha is just indicative of all the auspicious qualities. And Brahman has all auspicious qualities and he is without any defiling qualities. So Nirgunaha means not without any quality, without any defiling qualities, blemishes. That is the meaning. That's how if you take, you can resolve the mutual apparent differences in the Vedic sentences. That Nirguna and Vedas sentences which are telling qualities for Brahman. These two can be resolved without any problem if you consider this way, because Brahman is said to have innumerable auspicious qualities in hundreds and hundreds of Vedic statements. So this is what we saw. This is a very important aspect of in this Siddhanta that Saguna Brahma is established. Saguna Brahma. And then the nature of the definition of Brahman is also we saw last time given by Bhagavad Ramanuja as Swabhavataha Nirasta Nikila Dosha. So based on all these Vedic sentences, the definition of Brahman can be arrived at in this way that by nature, by very nature, Brahman is having all auspicious qualities and its nature is totally opposed to anything defect, anything blemish, any blemish. So this is the essential nature. And then Brahman is called as Param Brahma in the Upanishads. And that Parabrahma is nothing but he is none other than Purushottama, told in the Upanishads also and in Bhagavad Gita also famously, Uttama Purushastu Anyaha, Uttama Purushaha is Purushottama. So he is called as Purushottama. And in the Upanishad also says, Sa Uttamaha Purushaha, Sa Uttama Purushaha, Upanishad says, Purushottama. He is famously told for Parabrahman as a name. It can be taken as a name itself, or it can also be taken to give meaning based on the different parts of the word. Purushanam Uttamaha, like that, also can be told. He is the ultimate of among all the beings, like that if you say. Parabrahman is a supreme being. And it is abhidhiyate. Is abhidha means it is in the primary sense itself. Brahman means this because Brahman means something huge, brihat, gunataha sarupataha brihat. By nature also, by its qualities also, that which is huge is said to be Parabrahman because he is all pervading. That is why he is called Brahman. The word Brahman is used for Jivatma also. The word Brahma is used for matter also, Prakriti also, because it is also huge in a limited way. In this Prakriti Mandala, the matter is huge. Everywhere you find matter in this Prakriti Mandala. So it also has some qualities of Brihatva, huge. But it is limited to this Prakriti Mandala. It is not there in the Nitya Vibhuti, which is Paramapada. So it can also be said to be Brihat or huge. But it is in a limited sense. Whereas the ultimate sense of the word Brahman can be applied only to the Supreme Being, Purushottama, Sriman Narayan. And in the same way, the sentences, the Upanishadic parts, sections which tell us about the creation of this world, they use several words as the creator, Sat, Brahmatma, Prana, Akasha, Jyotihi, and all that. These are all general terms which culminate in Narayana. So because Sat can be used for anything, existence is only Sat. Brahma can be used for Jivatma also, Prakriti also. Atma can be used for Jivatma, Paramatma, both of them. Prana can be used as for vital air also and for Paramatman also. And for Jivatman also the word Prana is used because he is always associated with vital airs, Prana. He is also said to be Prana, Sa Pranasya Pranaha. Other Satya is also used for Jivatma. Like this, words are used for in several meanings, several senses in the Upanishads. Akasha can be used for elemental ether, the sky, or it can be used in the yogic sense for Paramatma itself. One who lights everything is Akasha. And then Jyotihi can be used for even a lamp or sun or any Agni also can be used as Jyoti. But in the ultimate sense, Paramatman only because the creator of the world is said to be Jyotis. So all these are terms which can be used for in many senses, whereas Narayana is a word which is used only for a particular deity. Sriman Narayana, Narayana only. Nobody else is called as Narayana in the Upanishads or in the Vedas. So that is a particular term, Narayana. These are all general terms which culminate in the Narayana, who is the particular deity, who is the creator. Yesha sarvabhutantaratma pahatapatma divyo devaha ekaha narayanaha. Subhalopanishad clearly says, well, while talking about creation and dissolution of this world, it tells about supreme deity Narayana. He is the creator and all that. So that is how we arrive at the particular deity who is because this is a very important aspect. First, we have to understand who is the deity who have to be who are we who in whom we have to take refuge. Because if we have to escape this samsara, we have to meditate upon the person or the deity who created this world, who put us in this position of this samsara. Only that person can, or that deity can release us from here. Whoever has put us here can only release, nobody else. Upanishad says that, Karanantu Dhyayaha. The creator, whoever is the cause of this world, can only release you from this world. And who is the cause of the world, we have to know very clearly. And that cannot be known from Sat, Brahma and these terms. It can be known from the word Narayana, who is the specific deity, who is the creator of the world, whom we have to resort to if we have to escape this samsara. So this is how the supremacy of Narayana is established in this system, that he is the supreme Brahman and he only has to be meditated upon, or he only has to be surrendered unto for escaping this samsara. That is how this is established in this system. So, prana and atma are different. Prana and atma are different. Prana is vital air. in the normal sense, rudhyartha it is called. Prana in the normal sense is said to be for vital air. It is air only. It is nothing but a special air. It is said to be. It is made, it is a bhautika padartha. It is a matter, inert matter. The vital air that we have is inert matter. Atma is the conscious self. The self who is the conscious self, jnana swarupa. And Atma can be used as Jivatma also, Paramatma also. If you simply say Atma, it can refer to both. We have to look at the context and what is being told and all that to understand whether it is Upanishad is telling us about Jivatma or Paramatma. Like that, we have to understand the meanings. So, Atma and Prana are different. So, this is how the Supreme Brahman, who is the deity, is established. First, if we do not know who is the person whom we have to meditate upon, we will not be able to escape the samsara. So, Paradevata Paramarthya, it is called. Paradevata Paramarthya, who is the supreme deity whom we have to resort to, has to be understood first. And that is established as Sriman Narayana only in this system. So that is because that is based on the various Vedic sentences and validity of the Upanishads, etc. So he is the master of all. He is worshipped through all the karmas. These are established by Badarayana in the Brahma Sutras very clearly also. Bestower of all fruits, phalamata upapattehe. There is a Brahma Sutra, phalam ataha upapattehe. He says all fruits are given by Paramatman only, nobody else. So there are various views on all that, whether the karma itself gives the fruit or the deity. So the Purvamimamsakas say karma itself gives the fruit. Karma itself gives the fruit, they say. They argue in various ways and all that we are not going to details of that discussion. For example, if I have a muscular pain in my hand, let's say, if I rub iodex or something like that, it will go off. The pain will go off. So the rubbing of this ointment or whatever it is, that itself got rid of the pain. So that act itself gave us the fruit. Is it not? They ask. Act itself has given us the fruit. So how can we say that there is a deity behind that and all that? So, but the Upanishads say clearly that the action is inert. Action is nothing but a few acts that we do. That doesn't know that this hand has a pain and I have to get rid of this pain and all those things. It is inert. It is karma is achetana. So the karma is achetana. There has to be a deity who is pleased by the karma, who can only give the fruits. So there is a deity behind every act. And then we have to please that deity to get the fruits. So if you are doing a yaga or a homa or whatever it is, you are actually praising a deity and offering some havis to the deity to please the deity. And the deity pleased will give you the fruits. The act itself cannot give you the fruit. That will get ended in a few hours or a few days or whatever it is. And then that will go. That will be end. That karma will get over. But fruit may come some other time, at any time. So how will the karma know that I have to give the fruit at this point of time to this person and all that? Karma cannot know all that. So a deity is worshipped through these karmas, and that deity only can give us the benefits. So that is how it is established. So everywhere we have to understand in that way only. And the deities who are there like Agni, Varuna, Vayu, Indra and all those things, they are all real. But they have limited powers. They are also bound selves like us only. But they are more endowed, they have done more virtues and they have got more powers, more knowledge, etc. And they have more enjoyments. They have been given all these benefits, all these powers by the Supreme Deity only. So only Supreme Deity can give all these things. The Paramatman, Sriman Narayana only is the ultimate bestower of fruits, because the gods also have limited lifespan. They also are not eternal. They have eternal in the sense the nature of the Atman is eternal, but association with the body goes off. As a Agni, if there a Devata is there, Agni has 100 years. After that Agni will have to take another birth. That life will be over. So like humans, devatas are also like that only. So these are all established very clearly, and all Vedantis accept this. So this is the bestower of fruits for all the karmas is the supreme deity only, that is Paramatman only, and he is the support of all. And all these are all established as the nature of the Brahman. And the nature of the Brahman is declared in this. We also saw this one, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam means avikari, without any modification. And another meaning is unconditional existence. So his satta, he is not dependent on anybody else. He is satyam. So he is nirupadhika satta yogi is the explanation for that. Nirupadhika satta yogi. That is, he is not dependent on somebody else for his existence. That is a Brahman. Whereas all of us are dependent on Paramatman. On his sankalpa only we are existing, we are doing anything, we are doing all these things. Even in the liberated state, if you have to experience forever bliss, it is based on the sankalpa of Paramatman only. So we are always forever dependent on Paramatman for our very existence, for all our actions and everything, and our sustenance, everything we are dependent on him. Whereas Paramatman is not dependent on anybody else. Natasya Ishe Kaschana. Upanishad says there is no other Lord for him. He doesn't have another master. He is the supreme master. That is the word meaning of Satyam. He does not undergo any change either in his substantive nature or attributive nature. So the Prakriti, matter, continuously undergoes change in its substantive nature itself. The very nature changes. Water will become steam. The whole nature of the matter itself has changed completely there. Like that, matter undergoes change continuously. So Paramatman is differentiated from matter by the word Satyam, and also from the bound selves whose attributive knowledge contracts and expands and all those things. It undergoes because of our karma. We may gain knowledge, we may lose knowledge and all that. So it expands and contracts and all that. Paramatman does not have that kind of a modification also, undergo any of those changes. So he is called Satyam, means he is different and distinct from matter and bound selves. And Jnanam means his Jnanam, his knowledge is never contracted. Asankuchita Jnana. So the Nityas and Muktas, the liberated selves, their knowledge is never contracted after they are liberated. Once we get liberated, our knowledge will never be contracted. Our knowledge will be in full-blown state, its original state. So the Paramatman is different from them because the liberated selves, at once upon a time, they were also bound in the samsara. They performed the means, they got liberated, they went to Paramapada. So at one point of time, their knowledge was contracted, undergoing changes. Paramatman is not like that. So he is called Jnanam. This kind of Jnanam is there for Nityas also. Eternally liberated Nitya Jivas are there. So Anantam differentiates him from the Nityas also. That is, Anantam means he is all pervading. The Nityas are not all pervading. They are atomic in nature. And they are dependent on Paramatman. Paramatman is not dependent on anybody else. So all these things, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, differentiates Paramatman from the matter, from the bound selves, from the liberated selves, from the eternally liberated selves. Achetana, Baddha Chetana, Mukta Chetana, Nitya Chetanas. All these four, it differentiates Paramatman from all the four. This statement defines the nature of Brahman as different and distinct from everything other than himself. So that is a definition of Brahman, nature of Brahman. So that is how it is explained. And these attributes are not opposed to each other. So there is a general theory that we also understand that qualifications, the attributes, differentiate an object from everything else. The attributes do differentiate. So if there are multiple attributes used for the same object, there has to be multiple objects, is what they say. If they say multiple attributes used together, it has to apply to different objects because every attribute differentiates that object from others. There is a subtle aspect that if the attributes are not opposed to each other. Many attributes can qualify the same object if they are not opposed to each other. So black and white, both the colors cannot qualify the same shirt at the same time because they are opposed to each other. A shirt cannot be black and white at the same time. If I say black, white shirt, two qualities I have used, black, white, and the object is shirt. Black, white shirt. If I say black shirt has to be different, white shirt has to be different. But if I say black sleeved shirt, then there is no opposition because they are not opposed to each other. Being sleeved is not opposed to having black color or the white color. So these qualities are not opposed to each other. So they can qualify the same object. So these are all very intrinsic aspects of analyzing sentences, Vedic sentences. So here Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, three qualities of Brahman are told. Do they are they intending denoting the same quality or different Brahmans, or are they not opposed to each other in qualifying the same Brahman? There are three qualities of the same Brahman that are told. So that is how it is handled. These sentences are called Samana Adhikaranya, that is coordination, concomitant coordination it's called. So they are mutually not opposed to each other qualities. They can qualify the same object. There is no problem in that. So that is how it is established. And the definition of Brahman as established in the Brahma Sutras is one who is the creator of the world and is responsible for the sustenance and dissolution and all that. Janmadhyasya yataha is the definition of Brahman given in the Brahma Sutras. So all these are established based on. So the Brahman is the cause of this world. First we have to establish who is the cause of the world. And then we have to know who is the particular deity who is the cause of the world. So Brahman is the cause of the world and he is Narayana, specific deity. That is something which we have to know as a first thing for us to know. And the Upanishads have sentences which seems to say Brahman does not have qualities and Nirguna and all this that we saw just now I have established. So the Vedas being impersonal and without any defect, there can be no contradiction. So it is not accepted that Nirguna Vakyas set aside Saguna Vakyas. There is also an argument that the Nirguna Vakyas set aside the Saguna Vakyas. We do not accept that because, first of all, in the Vedas, there is no first part, earlier part and later part and things like that. And in the second one, Satya and Jnana, there is a question that can the definition of Satya and Jnana be applied to Brahman and also applied to Nityas also. They can be also applied. Satya, if you take Satya has got two meanings. One is Nirupadhika Satta Hetu. That is for the very existence, it is not dependent on anything else. Then it cannot be applied to Nityas. But in the sense of not undergoing any modification, it can be applied to Nityas. Jnana also can be applied to Nityas because Nityas also have, their Jnana is never contracted. So it is equivalent to Brahman, it is said. So, but it is given by Brahman. So in that sense, they are different. So in the generally, if you say Jnanam, Asankuchita Jnana, they also have Asankuchita Jnana. So that is and knowledge of Paramatman is on substantive material entity and conceptual knowledge about creation, destroyment in the Chit and the Chit. Now this question is not very clear. Knowledge of Paramatman is on subjective material entities or conceptual knowledge. He knows everything about everything. That is the knowledge of Brahman. Chetana or Chetana, Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit. Two words Upanishad says. Knowledge of Brahman is Sarvajnaha, Sarvavit. Two words are used. Sarvajnaha means Yo veti yugapati sarvam pratyakshena sada swataha is the definition of Sarvajna. And that is given by Nathamuni, who is one of the preceptors in this was the before Yamunacharya. Nathamuni gives the definition of Sarvajna as Yo veti yugapati pratyakshena sada swataha. One who knows yugapati means at the same time. Pratyakshena means directly. Sada means all the time. Swataha means by himself. He knows everything at the same time, directly by himself, all the time. So this is the definition of Sarvajñatva for Paramatman. We don't have any of these things. We don't know. At the same time, I cannot don't know 10 things. I can know only few things. Everything I cannot know at the same time. And directly I cannot know. What is there in the next room itself, I don't know directly. What is in front of me, I can know. And so Pratyakshena is not there. Sada, all the time, is not there. Sometimes I know, sometimes I don't know. Swataha, by myself, I don't know. It has to be endowed to me by Paramatman. And I have to resort to Shastras, Acharya, and all that. So all these things are there. So I cannot know all that. Secondly, all their modes also he knows. Sarvavit means he also knows the modes of everything. So today Jivatman is present, tomorrow as a bound self, tomorrow he becomes liberated self. So whether Paramatma knows the same self became liberated or not, this question. So at another time, how do we exist? This is called sustenance. Sthiti in the Sanskrit word. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, three words are used. Sthiti means how it continues from time to time, an object is called Sthiti, sustenance. So that also he knows everything, all modes of everything he knows. So this is how the Upanishad defines the knowership of Paramatma. Sarvajña, Sarvavit is the knowership of Paramatma. So these are all established based on Shruti Vakyas only. And so there is nothing like an object without any quality cannot be established by any means is the stand of this system here in the Siddhanta Vishistadvaita, that there cannot be an object which doesn't have any attributes. You can only know an object through its attributes, nothing else. So Brahman is not mere abstracted consciousness, but is qualified by innumerable auspicious qualities. Ananta Kalyana Gunakara. And that no pramana can establish an attributeless object. Any object we can know, idam, itham, idam, itham. This is the object, this is how it is. If I have to know this object, I have to know its qualities and how that quality differentiates it from other objects. Otherwise, I will never find difference between a mobile or a laptop or a book or a pen or a pencil or anything, or a house or whatever it is. If I have to know every object as this is different, this is different, this is different, this is this, I have to know only through its attributes. There is no other way. So any object can be known only through the attribute of the object. There cannot be an object without any attribute. Then you cannot know the object itself. And such an object does not exist. So that is what is proved in the commentaries of Sri Bhashya and all that by Bhagavad Ramanuja. And if Brahman is Sayam Prakasha, say Brahman is only Jnana, Jnana Swarupa, Jnana Prakasha, that itself becomes an attribute of Paramatma. If he is eternal Nityatva is an attribute of the Brahman. So it cannot be without any attribute. So that is how. And Brahman is knowable. Brahman has to be knowable. But we have to know that you cannot know it fully. That is how we have to understand. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, Upanishad says. The words speech came back without being capable of describing Paramatman. Mind also came back not capable of knowing Paramatman. This does not mean that you cannot describe Paramatman or you cannot know Paramatman. Which only means that words and mind have limited scope. They cannot know Paramatman completely. Paramatman is said to be Ananta, Satyam Jnanam, Anantam Brahma. He is all pervasive. No end at all. Ananta means there is no end. That which does not have an end cannot be known as having an end. So, Ananta means Ananta. You can only know it as not having any end only. That means it cannot be known fully. So that is how the Upanishad also says, Kena Upanishad. He says, if I think that I have known, I have not known him, Paramatma. If I think I don't know also, it can be known, but it cannot be known fully. So, yasya matam tasya matam. Matam yasya navedasaha. One he says, I don't know, knows. One who knows, he does not know. This is what Upanishad says. That means one who knows that he cannot know fully, only knows. So that is a meaning that we have to understand. If I have to resolve the apparent contradiction that seems to be there in that sentence. Naham Veda Suvedeti. Nona Vedeti Vedacha. This Kenopanishad sentence mantra says, Na aham Veda Suveda iti. I don't know that I have known him fully. I have not known him, that I have known Suveda iti na aham Veda. I will not say that I have known him fully. No, na Vedeti. Nor do I say that I don't know Brahman. Veda cha, I also know at the same time. This is how the mantra explains the nature of Brahman. So that actually what it implies is one cannot know Brahman fully. That is what it implies. But you can know that you cannot know him fully. Whatever the Upanishad says, we can know. But that is not limited to that. It's not limited to that. That is what it says. Upanishad says, Neti Neti Cha. It says, Neti Neti is the meaning. Na iti, na iti. That means not this much, not this much. It has got much more qualities, many more qualities. So Brahma Sutra itself says very clearly, that is not this much only. It has got many more qualities which you cannot know fully. That is the meaning of that. Otherwise, all the qualities which are declared with the glory of the Paramatman is wonderfully praised in the Upanishads with all qualities, that will all become futile. Why will Upanishad do such a thing? So that is how the nature of Brahman is established. And it has to be knowable because Upanishad says you have to know him to escape this world. But you have to know him with only some few qualities you can know, but you cannot know all the qualities. So every Brahma Vidya, 32 Brahma Vidyas are taught in the Upanishads. Every Brahma Vidya says you meditate on this Brahman with these qualities, in this place, with this name, like this. You can only do that. You cannot meditate upon Brahman as innumerable qualities, because how to meditate? So it will give you few qualities. Meditate on these qualities of the Brahman. Then you will know Brahman, and when you go there, that you will know in his complete originality, original state, whatever you can know much more. It is not known fully at any point of time, but with your full knowledge, you can know a lot many qualities of the Paramatman you can enjoy. So that is how the Brahman nature is. Brahman also has attributive knowledge. Brahman knows. Sarvajnaha means Sarvam Janati. He has to know, but he has to be a knower to know that. And the essential nature is all pervasive. So now the sole cause of the world. This is another very important aspect of Brahman. That Brahman is the sole cause of the world. This is the first thing that is established in the Brahma Sutra in the first 2 chapters. That who is the sole cause of the world, who has to be meditated upon to get rid of this samsara. So it is established that a cause, a particular effect, any product that has to be created has many causes, many types of causes. There has to be material cause, there has to be efficient cause, there has to be instrumental cause, etc. Material cause is the material that we use to make the product. For example, to make a pot, I need mud as the material. I need water as the material. Mud is the main component there, material. And we need a potter, an efficient cause, an intelligent person who can make the pot is said to be the efficient cause. And we need also the stick and those things which are instruments which a potter uses to give it to a shape and all those things to make the pot. He needs instruments also. So there has to be material cause, there has to be intelligent cause, there has to be instrumental causes. All these causes are required. Material cause is called Upadana Karana, and intelligent cause is called Nimitta Karana, and others are called Sahakari Karana. These 3 causes are required for making a product. So the material always undergoes change. When you create a product, the material has to undergo change, modification. Without the material undergoing any modification, you cannot make a product. So either it has to be heated or burnt or whatever it is, melted or everything, something it has to undergo some change, some process. The material changes completely. Intelligent cause doesn't undergo any change. The potter, he only makes it. He doesn't go undergo any change. And another thing is the intelligent cause itself cannot become the product. Only the material cause can become the product. So these are all some important aspects in the cause-effect relation that we have to understand. The Upanishad declares for the entire world, there is only one cause, Brahman, who is a material cause also. He himself is the intelligent cause also. He himself is the Sakari Karana also. That is instrumental cause. Brahmavanam Brahmasa Vriksha Asit Yathotyava Prithvi Nishtatakshuhu Brahmavanam Brahmasa Vriksha Asit. It gives in say various words. Upanishad says in very, very many words. He is a material cause, he is the instrumental cause, he is the efficient cause. All causes are he only, him only. Paramatman only is the ultimate cause. Sadeva Somya idamagrasi ekameva advitiyam. Upanishad says, Sat is the name of the Brahman. Ekameva is only one. That means there is no other second, there is no material other than him. He himself is the material. Advitiyam, there is no second person. That means there is no another efficient cause to help him or to create or something like that. So Brahman, who is called Sat, is a material cause also, efficient cause also, instrumental cause also. Everything is him only. Upanishad says like this. So how to understand this? This is the most difficult part of understanding the creation of the world. How one Brahman created everything, and Brahman is Avikari, Satyam, Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The word Satyam says it doesn't undergo any modification either in its substantive nature or attributive nature. It doesn't go any modification. He doesn't have any blemish. And even then, he is the material cause of the world, Upanishad says. How to understand this is the most difficult part in the Upanishads. And that Brahman resolved, Aham Bahusyam Prajayeya. So very wonderfully it says in Chandogya Upanishad, Bahusyam. He says, I will become many. Brahman did not resolve that I will use matter and create this world. He did not say that. He said, I will become many. I myself will become many, he said. Bahusyam Praja, I will be born. I will become many. Does it mean he himself underwent change, modification to become this whole world? That means this world is full of defects, full of grief, full of defects. Brahman is said to be Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, no defect, no modification, no apahata papma, vijaraha, mrityuhu, satyakamaha. All these are told. How can Brahman become this world which is full of defects and grief and all these things? Is the question. So this is something which is established very uniquely in this system, that matter is also eternal entity. It does not get destroyed completely. Substance doesn't get destroyed completely. The substance doesn't get destroyed. It only changes state. When you create a product, many matter that we use, the materials that we use to create a product, they are all present in the product in a different state. It doesn't get destroyed completely. The various materials that you use to create a product. If I am building a house, for example, I use mud, steel, water, this thing, that, whatever it is, cement and everything. All those things are present in a different state in the house. It is the product is nothing but a different state of the cause. Cause effect is like that. Effect is a different state of the cause. When the effect is destroyed, it goes back to the causal state. That's all. This is the cause-effect concept that is the most important in Vedanta, that is established wonderfully in this system. If you understand this, we can understand the creation of the world. So, since he is one, it is told, Brahman, he is qualified by the orders of sentient beings and non-sentient matter. Prakriti and Jivatmas. Both are there. Both are eternal. All the Jivatmas are present. Prakriti is also eternal. In a particular state, it is called avyakta, primordial matter. In the state of primordial matter, it is present eternally. It doesn't get destroyed fully, but it undergoes changes to become mahatya, ahankara, panchabhutas, panchatanmatres, indriyas, and all those things. It becomes our body, the various objects that we see in this world, the akasha or vayu or agni or this, that, everything that we see, these are all different states of the primordial matter, nothing else. There's only one. In this world, if you see, There are only three realities that we see. That is the matter which is present in all these forms, the Jivatmans who are there in every being, and the Paramatman who is there. Of course, other than that, time also exists. And Parama Nitya Vibhuti is there, another world, all that. So, this if you see, Chitya Achitya Ishvara, when we say, the matter is present in different states in this. When there is a dissolution, they all go to their primordial state, that is called pralaya. The whole world is dissolved means it all go and merge into their causes. So when we say pot is destroyed, it becomes mud, nothing else. So it goes into its causal state. That is what it's called. So when a person dies, when you say when they burn the body, it becomes ashes. The Panchabhutas go and merge with the Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas go and merge in Ahankara. That goes and merges in Mahate. That merges in primordial matter. This is the reverse process of creation called Pralaya, dissolution. So the matter in the primordial state is always eternally present. And Jivatmas are all present. They are all conscious beings. They are all Jnana Swarupas. These two are present with Paramatman, unified in Paramatman, because they are eternal and they don't get destroyed. And they are in such a state, you cannot differentiate name and form in that state, because it is in the avyakta state, that is, which is unmanifested state. So there we don't know, there is no differentiation of this is Manusha, this is Vriksha, this is Kita, this is Pashu, this is Pakshi, this is Deva. This kind of differentiation not there. This is a mountain, this is a sea. This differentiation is not there at that time. They are there in that particular subtle state, united with Paramatman as though they are one with Paramatman. That is the meaning of Ekameva. Ekameva means not Sat Brahman alone. Brahman qualified by unmanifest state of matter and Jivatmas. And then when he creates, what he does is he brings through change, being the Antaryami, the inner self, change in the matter, which undergoes change, and all these things are created, the gross state it comes to, where we can see. And then he associates Jivatmas with the bodies based on their karma. So a particular Jivatma based on karma, he may become Deva. Another Jivatma will become a human. Another one will become a tree, something like that. So he associates all the Jivatmas with their bodies, and it comes to the gross state. Paramatman is the inner self, either in the subtle state, in the gross state also. So Bahusyam, I myself become many means, being the inner self, Antaryami, his body undergoes change. He doesn't undergo any change in any nature or in his attributive nature. But the body, which consists of matter and Jivatmas, that undergoes change. A simple example is ourselves. When we see the Atman is there and the body is there. You are a child is there, Jivatman is there. The body undergoes change, becomes a youth. Then the body undergoes change, becomes old age. But the Atman inside remains the same, doesn't undergo change. Atman is conscious being. The body undergoes so many changes. The same way, and same Atman is there. When a child grows into a youth, that person doesn't say, I am a different person. The same person, he knows, I am the same person who has become old. Everyone knows this. Same way, Paramatman, who is the inner self, for all this, he brings about change in his body, Sharira, it's called. And then the whole world becomes into the gross state. And this in Pralaya, it goes into the subtle state. Now it goes to the gross state. This is the change in state. That is creation. That is how it has to be. This is how the cause-effect relation is established as this thing. So this is called Satkarya Vada. This is a term used. Satkarya Vada means the effect has to be in the cause. Effect cannot be created newly. It has to be in the cause, because there is a definite relationship between cause and effect. For example, gingerly oil has to be extracted from that seed only. You cannot extract gingerly oil from rock. There is no relation. If you put a mango seed, a mango tree only will come. You cannot expect a neem tree to come from a mango seed. There is a definite relation. That mango tree should have existed in the mango seed. Otherwise, it cannot become mango tree. So the effect has to be in subtle state in the seed, in the cause. The cause is the mango seed, the effect is the tree. That power to create the tree should be existing in a subtle state in the seed. The same way, but we say only one seed is there. We don't say a mango tree is there in the seed. We say only seed is there, and it is not seen, it cannot be seen. And when it grows into a tree, you see leaves, branches, fruits, flowers, so many variety, so many things come up in such different shapes, such different size, all those things. Now we say this is a branch, this is a leaf, this is a fruit, this is a flower, and things like that. But all those things were there in a subtle state in the seed. Without that, it cannot become. The same way, the whole world is in a subtle state, united with Paramatman, as though he is one, it is one. And then he brings out a change in this to come to the gross state of this whole world, innumerable things that we see in this world. This is how creation happens, and this is how Paramatman is the sole cause of the whole world. He only wills and brings about this change. So he is the efficient cause. He only is the Antaryami, inner self, in the subtle state also, in the gross state also. So every word that denotes the body denotes the self also inside. So if I say Devadatta, it is not the body I am addressing. There is a Jivatma inside the body. Both are being addressed by the same word. So I don't say Devadatta, come along with your body. We don't say that. Or we cannot address the body because it is inert. And we cannot address Devadatta as a Atman separately. We use one word for both. The same way, Satya is the one word used for Chidachit Vishishta Brahma. Brahman qualified by Chitva and Achitva, who are in the subtle state. And he brings about a change into the gross state. That is how it happens. So this is how established in the system that the creation of the world, how Brahman creates. So that is how it is all established with a lot of practical examples, just like we see in a science lab, how we experiment and understand various things. In that way, it is explained in Chandogya Upanishad in the 6th chapter called Sadvidya, the dialogue between Shvetaketu and Uddalaka. It explains all these things with practical examples. He shows a tree, and Uddalaka is teaching his son Shvetaketu about the creation of the world. He says there is only one thing. If you know him, you know everything, it is told. So, if you know one, everything you can know, is what he says. And he says, how can we know that? And it is very subtle. If you know him, you can know the whole world. If you say, how is it possible? He asks him to bring a seed from a tree, opposite tree. And then he brings a seed, break it, he says, a fruit, and break the fruit, he says. He breaks the fruit. What do you see? I see hundreds of seeds inside. Take one seed and break it, he says. He breaks it. He says, what do you see? I don't see anything. He says, what you say, you don't see anything. From that only the whole tree has come. He demonstrates it like that. He teaches him every aspect of Brahman, giving practical demonstration, practical examples in a wonderful way. So that is how nature of Brahman is taught in this system, as explained in the Upanishad. So all these, in this world, of course, we can never see a material and instrument cause being the same. It is not possible to see. In this world, whatever product that is created in this world, for all products that are created in the world, we see the material is different, the instrumental cause is different, efficient cause is different, and all that. But for this world, Brahman is the sole cause, the Upanishad says. And material cause always undergoes change here. But Brahman is said to be unchanging, though he is the material cause. And that is how it is explained that in a very subtle state, unified with Brahman, without name and form differentiation, in the causal state. The created state, the state of effect, they get changed to gross state with name and form differentiation. Then you can say, this is a human being, this is a tree, this is an animal, this is a bird, this is a snake, or this is a deva, like that. You are able to differentiate in the gross state. So that is the creation process, how it happens. And he is the immanent principle, Antaryami, stored in the Upanishads. So the modification is in the sentient and non-sentient entities. Brahman remains unchanged all the time. So all the Upanishad sentences can be explained without any that describe the creation of the world or dissolution of the world. They can be explained without any contradiction by understanding this concept. So that is how it is explained in this system. Brahman qualified by subtle, sentient and non-sentient entities is the cause. This is a Vishishta Brahma only is the cause. Chidachid Vishishta Brahma is the Karana. Chidachid Vishishta Brahma is the Karya. So Badarayana establishes in the Brahma Sutra, Karya, Karana are Ananya. Tad Ananyatvam Arambhana Shabdadibhyaha. The Sutra, Brahma Sutra. Ananyatvam. Material is the same. So mud only becomes pot. The material is same. Mritika ityeva satyam. Mritike ityeva satyam. It teaches. So Brahman is the Antaryami. The whole world is Brahman only as the Antaryami it has. So he can, the words denoting all objects in this world can denote up to Paramatman who is the inner self. Just like the word Devadatta can denote the Jivatman inside the body, Devadatta can also denote Paramatman who is also inner self of the Jivatman. So all the words, all the bodies in this world, all beings, all the names go up to Paramatman as the Aparyavasana Vritti it is called. So ultimate sense of the every word goes up to Paramatman, who is the inner self of everything. So Vishishta Karana, Vishishta Karya. Karya is also Vishishta Brahma. Karana is also Vishishta. That is why it is Vishishta Advaita. Karya Karanayoho Ananyatvam. Karya and Karana are not different. That means they are only in a different state. The Karya, Karana is existing in a different state. That is how we can say Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All these are Brahma, we can say, because all these are having Brahman as the inner self. So like that, there is no difference, there is no opposition in that, there is no problem in that. So that is how it is established. And so the Shruti statement declaring the identity of Brahman with everything else, Ayam Atma Brahma, it is told, this Atman is Brahma, means this Atman is having Brahman as the inner self. That is the meaning. And so that is how the Samanadikaranya has to be explained. Neha Nanasti Kinchana means that which is having Brahman as the inner self, that which does not have Brahman as the inner self. This kind of multiplicity doesn't exist because everything has Brahman as the inner self. Nanatva means the multiplicity. Multiplicity in the sense of Brahmatmaka and Abrahmatmaka. Everything is Brahmatmaka only. That is how it is explained. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma is also Sarvam Brahmatmakam. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahmatmakam. You don't tell that because that is how the Sharira Atma Bhava is established. So in the other systems it is very different. I have just given on slide, this we are not going into much detail about this because here we are studying more about Vishistadvaita. It is only introductory course, but I have given a slide for you to understand. If you go through and have any questions, we can raise questions in the group and we can probably, I can see if you want to elaborate a little bit in the next class, I can do that, but I am not going to detail of this. So what we see in this world is the material cause has to undergo change, but Brahman does not undergo. This is very important. So the changes during creation happen only in the Jivatma, so the attributive knowledge changes. The inert matter which changes the essential nature. So these are all attributes of Paramatman only. Brahman is the inner controller, immanent principle, and is the material cause in the primary sense also. And he creates by willing, so he becomes the instrument cause. So creation is nothing but Brahman existing in the gross state. The causal state, qualified by Chit and Achit in the subtle state, in the state of effect, he exists being qualified by Chit and Achit in the gross state. This is the only difference. Change in state is said to be creation. So he has incomparable knowledge, power, lordship, declare the Upanishads, and has eternal association with the sentient and non-sentient. By his very nature, they are always inseparably associated with Paramatman. They cannot exist independently of Paramatman at all, at any point of time, in any state. So that is why it is said to be, that is how Vishistadvaita it is called. And now the next aspects are Brahman can be known only through Shastra, and also we are going to go through Shariri Bhava, which is a very important concept established in this system that we will go through in the next class as we have come to the end of this session. So with that, I end this session and leave the class open for any question and answers. Let me just enable. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and ask any questions.
Adiyan Swami Ramanujdasan. So I have one question regarding this Jivatma and Muktatma. So intuitive knowledge, the eternal knowledge of the Paramatma. Once Jiva attains the moksha or Paramapada, the Jivatma will get any attributes of Paramatma, or will just enjoy the same happiness, same as like Brahman.
His attributes are also told to be same as Paramatman, like Apahata Papma, Vijaraha, Vimurtyuho, Vishokaha, Vijigatsaha, Pipasaha, Satyakamaha, Satyakam, Sankalpa. All these 8 qualities will be there.
Okay.
But at the same time, he will not be able to do creation and all that because he is not all pervading. Jivatma is subtle. He is not all pervading. So he cannot become the Antaryami, that he cannot become. So those powers are not there for Jivatman. So he gets ultimate bliss, which is equal to Paramatman's enjoyment. His bliss will be equal to that of Paramatman. That is where there is similarity between Paramatman and Muktatma. That is the only similarity. Other aspects like Antaryamitva, Jagat Karana, all those things will not be there for a Muktatma.
Okay, only certain attributes and happiness will come, except this creation and destroy of this universe, right? Okay, and also like the birth coming, especially the Alvars and the Brahmana Acharyas, who are coming to from they are Nityasuris in Paramapada. But are they coming to this material world on their own wish, or the Paramatma is giving, is creating them or sending them to this material world to
They come only on the command of Paramatma. They don't come by themselves, because in the liberated state, we are going to discuss it later. The Jivatman will fully realize his nature, which is subservient to Paramatman. So when I realize that I am utterly subservient to Paramatman, I will not do anything by myself. I will only try to please Paramatman in any way. I will not transcend his command. I will not do anything independently. So there is no question of Muktatmas taking their decisions by themselves. It will all be as per the wishes of Paramatman only.
Okay, son.
Namaskaram. I have a question regarding the nature of Jivatma and in any object that has life. So I'm a bit confused about whether it's the same thing, that being sentient, possessing consciousness and possessing life, because consciousness can only be in living beings. Like things like stone are not conscious, so they are achit. So can we equate chit and life, or is a possibility that something can be sentient without being alive, or something can be alive without being sentient? So that is there
I understood your question. So the Upanishad actually what it says is, Upanishad says, Anena Jivena Atmana Anupravishya Namarupe Vyakaravani is the Upanishadic statement. So Paramatman has willed that he will enter into that along with the Jivatman and then differentiate into name and form. So according to Ramanuja, very clearly in Vedanta Sangraha, he establishes that anything that has name and form has a Jivatma and Paramatma inside that. There is no doubt about it. Even a stone has Jivatma, Paramatma. A broken stick also can have. But the life, it is not in a, vital layers are not seen there. And the Jivatman is in a very, very highly contracted Dharmabhuta Jnana, we have to say, because of some karma phala that is being established, being experienced. So the theory is that according to what is established by Ramanuja in his Vedanta Sangraha. Anything that has name and form can have a Jivatman and Paramatman inside. According to the Upanishad statement, that is what is meaning that we have to understand.
Okay. So that means even a stone has some minimal amount of
Absolutely.
sentience. Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
You may not see breathing and all that there. That kind of this thing will not be there. But there will be Jivatman who is highly contracted Dharmabhuta Jnana.
Okay. No, then you.
Like Ahalya became a stone, it is told in Ramayana, like that.
Okay.
He existed for thousands of years like that.
Yeah.
Swamin,
Yeah.
Vijay Raghavan. One quick question, Swamin. If you say everything is a Jivatma, for example, you take a tree.
Yeah.
Would a leaf of the tree have a Jivatma, or the entire tree is associated with the Jivatma? Like, for example, we always talk Jivatmas are infinite. You cannot really count how many Jivatmas are there. But I often get this doubt, like when I'm doing Archana with a flower, and Krishna seems to have given moksha to a pot, or, things like that we hear from Bhagavata story. But my point is, how would you,
When the leaf is existing in a tree, it is part
Uh,
of the tree only, so it is said to be a single body of a Jivatman. When you take out
okay.
the leaf separated from that, that can have a Jivatman by itself. It is possible. That is how we have to be.
We have to understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then they are still called Jada in the sense that
They are called Jada because we don't see the Pranadhina Vritti is not there. That means
I see.
any actions that are there based on the vital layers and all that we don't see. That's why we call it Jada. But in the there
the
can
life force is missing from
body is Jada only. Even our body is Jada only. But Jivatma is functioning inside. There you don't see the functioning Jivatma. Though he may be there, he will be there. Yeah.
And at one point, Swamiji, you said that the karma itself is a Jada.
Karma is action. Karma means the meaning of the karma.
But it is incapable of deciding what result.
Yeah.
Because
action is just it is inert. Action is
not a sentient. That's what I'm coming to now. So often, I keep hearing that in order to you have to give up the ownership of doing a karma. This sentence I often hear in any philosophical discussion. Is it something our Vishistadvaita supports it? Like giving up the ownership,
every system supports that. All the darshanas accept that you have to give up the ownership of the karma, you have to give up the agency of the karma, and all those things. Okay.
Then who is the doer of that karma? That's my question.
Doer of the karma is Jivatman only, but he has to think that he is not doing because of various reasons. One is that the Jivatman has got this body because of his karma only. He is experiencing the fruits of the karma which he has done earlier, isn't it?
Okay.
That is why he has got a body. So in his real nature, he is not supposed to be doing all that. If you say an Atman doesn't have a name. The soul doesn't have a name or a class or a gender or anything. It is a conscious entity. So in our real nature, we are supposed to be like that. That is how the liberated state will be. But we have got caught into this association with the body. Because of that, we think that I'm a person, I am such a gender, I have such a class, this, that, and all those things, which is not the real knowledge, which is also true, but it is not the real state of the Jivatman. It is because of the karma that is experiencing that. So that is one reason why we should not think that I am eating, because Atman cannot eat. Atman doesn't eat. Atman is a conscious entity, isn't it? So because of the association of body, we have to eat, we have to sleep and all those things. So this is one reason why we cannot think that I am the doer. I am eating like that. It is because of association with the matter that I am doing it. So you have to attribute it to the matter. Second reason is that anything that Jivatman does in the bound state, he cannot do independently. Without my body, I cannot do anything. Without my vital air, I cannot do. Without my sense organs, I cannot do. And without Paramatman also, I cannot do. When there are five things, Adhishthanam, Tata, Karta, as is told no, in the Bhagavad Gita itself. Vividhacha pratak cheshtaha, karanancha pratak vidam, vividhacha pratak cheshtaha, daivam chaivatra panchamam. For anything that we do, five things are required. So when five things together are doing this act, how can I say that I am only doing it? I am doing, if I say I should be doing without independent of the body, I cannot do. Independent of the sense organ, I cannot do. Independent of vital air, I cannot do. So five things together are doing all the work that I am. We see here, I eating, sleeping, doing, or offering puja, whatever it is. Five things are involved, and we seem to think that I am only doing it. This feeling.
But the responsibility and the
He is
phala,
there. He is only doing
he is
it.
only given to the
Jivatman
Jivatma. Not
only.
the other five things are not sharing though.
Jivatman only is doing it, but he should think that he is not doing it because of these reasons. When he does that, the fruit of the karma doesn't affect him. When he does like that, it doesn't affect him. If I think that I am only doing, I will try to do for my own purpose, my own benefit. I will be involved in more and more such things, and I will get more and more attached to the samsara only. I will not be able to get liberated. That is the reason.
Thank you, sir.
It is there, yeah, subtle aspect.
Adian, just one more to finish the same discussion. If so, is it right to say the stone is sentient but not alive?
Stone is, yeah, it will have a sentient being inside, but it is not alive in the sense vital layers are not seen there.
Okay.
That is how we say. Yeah. We have to understand like that.
So is it also correct that a pen or a drinking cup, these are also sentient being without the vital air?
It can have jivatmas in it. Sure.
And also objects made of plastic also.
Yes. Anything that has a name and form can have a jivatma and paramatma. It will have a jivatma. That is how it is told in the Upanishads.
But when you say it can have, it looks like a choice.
It will have.
It should have.
Not it can have. It will have according to.
It will have. Yeah.
Yes,
I think
clearly written that it has. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Adiyan Swami. So, in one of the Bhagavatam shlokas, is mentioned that Sri Shuka, despite being immersed in Nirguna, he was attracted by qualities of Bhagavan or Leelas of Bhagavan. And the exact verse is this Parinishthitopi Nairgunya Uttama Shloka Lilaya Grihita Cheta Rajashe. So it starts like that. Now, if we take the meaning of Nirguna to mean that he was immersed in Kalyana Gunas of Bhagavan. So if you translate like this.
No, there it is not to be taken. There it is not to be taken in that sense. See, in the upasana, when you do, the upasana can be done in many ways. Okay. So one is that there are people who can do Swarupa upasana itself. Like without any form or his other qualities, like his very nature, Jnana Swarupa, I can meditate upon the Jnana Swarupa of Paramatma. That is also, there are people who can meditate like that. That is Jnana Swarupa when you meditate upon an object, Paramatman who has all qualities, his Jnana Swarupa I am meditating upon. That is the meaning there. It is not that the object itself is only Jnana Swarupa and doesn't have any qualities. All the qualities are there, form is there, everything is there, but I am meditating upon the very substantive nature of the object. That is what is the meaning you have to be taken.
Right. The Samadhi Yugalena Vilokayanti.
That is called Niralambana Yoga.
Yeah,
Samadhi is Salambana and Niralambana. Niralambana yoga that is what it is means. In
That is
Vishnu
what.
Purana, Vishnu Purana in the last Amsha, if you see, it is explained very clearly by Keshidvaja to Kandikya Jaina, that conversation. When Keshidvaja teaches, he teaches all these. There you can see very clearly all these explained.
Wonderful, Swami. Wonderful. Yeah.
So Swarupa is Nirguna, and we should
Not Nirguna. Swarupa is not Nirguna, but the guna, whatever is there, we are concentrating on the Swarupa of that object. That's all.
So I understood that one can meditate on different gunas of Brahman. So is the fruit always the same upon
Yes.
whatever I
Yes.
meditate?
There are 32 Brahma Vidyas in the Upanishads. All of them have the same single fruit. So any one you can choose.
Yeah.
So
And
without doing multiple.
Swami, to answer the previous question, during the Ashtakshara Mantra Japam Dhyana Shloka, we say Jnanananda Surupoham Vishnu Sheshena Kasyachit. So that the Surupa could be Jnana or Ananda.
Correct.
And when we meditate on that Jnana, then it becomes, in other words, they call it Nirguna Upasana.
That is how it is to be understood. Yes. Otherwise, there will be contradiction. Yes.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm not
gunas-
able.
I have one general question. Since just someone mentioned Bhagavatam, so Bhagavatam is considered to be the ripe fruit of the Vedas, Nigama Kalpa Taror. So why didn't Ramanuja Acharya or Madhva Acharya establish their philosophy based on Bhagavatam, but they used the other three? Why didn't they refer to Bhagavatam also?
Yeah, none of them, even Shankaracharya has not commented, Ramanujacharya has not commented, because they focused more on the Brahma Sutras as one prasthana. And then in the Smritis, the Brahma Sutra themselves refer Bhagavad Gita as the Smriti primarily, Bhagavad Gita, and also Vishnu Purana. So these two are referred to mainly in the Brahma Sutras. So based on that, Bhagavad Gita is taken as the primary Smriti. So Bhagavata was not taken because of that, because this is something very directly related, and it explains the ultimate the means and all those things completely and very clearly. Bhagavad Gita, that too not entire Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita was taken as a Smriti within Mahabharata. So the Brahma Sutra refer to Bhagavad Gita and many sutras. So that is one reason why Bhagavad Gita is taken as one prasthana. So Shruti Prasthana, Sutra Prasthana is Brahma Sutra, Smriti Prasthana, Bhagavad Gita. With these three, all the Vedantic masters established their system very clearly. And of course, others you can use. There is no need for writing detailed commentary or explaining that. There are commentaries available according to Vishistadvaita also for even for Bhagavata also, Srimad Bhagavata also. Other acharyas have written.
But we could also conclude that even though some modern scholars interpret that Bhagavata came at a later time, but my thought was Lord Krishna's story, like Andal is referring to a lot of those stories. So they came the stories were existing, but they might not have existed in the form of Bhagavata Purana. That's what I thought maybe the right.
These two incarnations happen many times, keep on happening. So there could be many times happening, and as in the form of Ramayana or Bhagavata that we see today available to us, it might have come much later. But that is possible. Yeah.
Possible. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm not able to leave even though I have some other work. Thank you so much. I'm leaving now. Yeah.
So if we have time, just one more question, Swami.
Yeah.
So Jiva, when it is liberated, its knowledge expands to infinity. So its attributive knowledge is infinity. But we also sometimes hear the word Jivan Mukta. What does it mean?
So Jivan Mukta here is in our Siddhanta, it is established as A person who is doing bhakti yoga or who has done prapatti, the state in which he is till he gets the benefit, the fruit, that state is said to be Jivan Mukta. He will be nearing, experiencing gradually increased experience of what he will get in the liberated state here itself. That state is said to be Jivan Mukta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So knowledge is still expanding, but that can be even said for evolution
only for
of
Bhakti Yogi and a Prapati who has performed the means for moksha. Only for those persons it can be said Jivan Mukti, not for anybody else who has performed the means for moksha. That we will see later. We are going to look at means for moksha later. That time we will talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. If there are no more questions, I will conclude today's session. Thank you. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanastu.
So, can you have a copy of all the PDF presentations for me because it's not available online?
In our group, it is available. WhatsApp group, if you see,